All right, we are live. And now we are at
Sheraton.
we're at the Sheraton in Columbus, Ohio. And let me get the lighting better here. There we go. That's still kind of fucked up, but nothing to do about it. Anyway, we got was really snowing like hellaciously. Let me show you what it looks like out here. Check out the snow. Look at that. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it just started. It wasn't snowing when we got here, but it's damn sure snowing now. There we go. Jason. 1 hour yet. Jason's an hour away. The Bogman twins, hour out. My hair looking like a little messy, but I've had a hat on all day. Hey there, how you doing? Hey brother, doing pretty good. How are you doing at 5:06 p.m.?
Your light might be good there.
Oh, my light's probably better over there. I'll go over there then. Don't worry. Ah, room's pretty nice. I like the room. Room's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, George could have got us a
George is up here with us. He's
could have got us a gangbang.
down the street, down the hall. Greetings from Greece.
Wow.
Wow.
I want to go to Greece.
That's some serious cosmopolitan shit right there, all the way to Greece. You competing too? Yeah.
Your daughter's
No. Yeah.
Your daughter's Greece.
Am I competing? We'll meet you at the hotel and go from there. Okay, he's an hour out. Do we want to wait for him to go pick up the... Huh?
What?
To go pick up the badges and stuff.
I don't know. I don't know how long we have.
Hey, James, greetings from Scotland. Hey, man.
Scott.
Scotland, how are you?
I'll take
Not
that.
bad working out after a hot day at college coming at you from Scotland.
I'll take that.
Hell yeah. In the gym where I'd be watching. Todd. Just got home getting ready to deadlift. That's the way to do it. Drama. Hey, brother.
Ah,
It's not that far, which is about, from Drama, it's like about 6 hours
drama. Near drama.
or better away.
Where's drama live?
Remember I called him the other night. You know where Drama lives.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Oklahoma, hell yes. What's your website for your clothing line? Thanks, brother. Joe. Website www.gorillawithacause.org.
.org. We have all our inventory.
Org for organization. We have a what?
We have all our inventory with us right now.
Yeah, but you can still place an order. It won't be shipped until like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you place an order, you
And
can
if
still
don't-
place an order. It won't be shipped until Tuesday
Or it might have to wait till we get more stuff in.
because there's nobody there. And what else we got here? Greetings from the Shire. Greetings to you, bro. How are you, Carlos? What's happening, Carlos? Opinion on diet soda? I don't fuck with it. I don't mess with it. I don't even mess with
Poison.
poison. Yeah. Well, I don't mess with poison either. But I don't mess with
Diet soda.
what's that shit that everybody puts in the water? Makes the water taste pretty good.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Crystal Light. I don't even mess with Crystal Light anymore. You know why? Because it makes me feel like I'm having something I shouldn't have, and then it leads to me wanting something I shouldn't have, which is very easy for me. And it's not that I don't have any willpower. I do. But it's just not that important to me. You know what I'm saying? At this stage of the game, I don't really have to get in that kind of condition. So when I decide to get a wild hair or whatever, I decide to get cut up and run around with no shirt on or something and flex my abs, then, you know, it's a lot easier to stay on point if I just don't even have a lot of good shit. I have very bland menu items then, you know, what I put together to eat. Very bland, very repetitive.
Artificial sweetener makes you crave more.
Yeah, I don't fuck around with no artificial sweeteners or any of that. From Texas, Gus, what's happening, brother? I like Texas, man. Man, when I was in Texas, it would rain like a cow pissing on a flat rock. It might even flood. And then hours afterwards, it looked like it never rained. Be dry as a mug. Hey, James, hope the weather's nice where you're at. Snowing in Buffalo. Brother Josh, it's snowing here, too. It's snowing here in Ohio, in Columbus right now. I don't know what it'll become, but it's starting to lay. What else we got here? I like this live thing's pretty good. When does the Arnold open? Arnold opens tomorrow at what time?
Tomorrow at 8:30.
8:30. 8:30. Who do you think's going to take top three? I don't know. I'll tell you the 212. Who's going to win the 212? Jose Raymond. I got Jose Raymond in there as winning 212. What's your go-to tunes when training? Black Label Society, any kind of Zakk Wylde stuff. Some Ozzy, there's all the Zakk Wylde stuff. Some Jake E. Lee Ozzy is awesome too. What else do I like? Old school UFO, old school Scorpions, like old school. Like Fly to the Rainbow and shit, when Uli Roth was the guitar player. If you don't know who Uli Roth is, then you don't know Scorpions. And even Lonesome Crow, when Michael Schenker from UFO started as a guitar player at 16 years old on that Lonesome Crow Scorpions album, is pretty good shit. What else we got here? What else do I listen to when I lift, Val? Oh, of course, Stone Temple Pilots. Some Stone Temple Pilots stuff's awesome. What else is really awesome?
What's that one band?
Cold Chamber.
Yeah.
Cold Chamber kicks ass. What else is really good? Saxon. Saxon, that's some really good old school stuff, man. If you ain't down with Saxon, you got to check that out. For lifting, man, that's some good shit. What else we got here? From London, hello, Jake, dog. What's happening, brother?
Hello.
Seen those Robert Frank videos? Robert Frank is a funny dude. Yes, I have seen it. Robert Frank is a funny guy, man. Some of his stuff's extremely funny. When he's on, he's on. Some of his shit is very funny. Are you going to go? Let's see. Are you going to go and watch strongman or powerlifting any, or just stick to the bodybuilding? Oh, I'm probably not going to watch the bodybuilding, but I'm going to hang out with a bunch of the guys, that are friends of mine. But the strongman, well, one of our brother gorillas is competing in strongman, so I'm going to check that out. And plus, I know a lot of the old school guys. I don't know who's going to actually be there anymore because I'm not current at all. But Guy Fulton, man, strongman. Gorilla with a Cause. He's going to be at the booth, so you can meet him. And he's competing, so everybody, any gorillas that are on site, it would be awesome if you can go over and cheer on Guy. I don't know. Did he compete today or he competes tomorrow?
I don't know any of his schedules.
I think he competed today, and if he placed somewhere, I don't know where the marker was, but if he did really well today, then he competes tomorrow as well. I believe that's how it goes. So I'm hoping that's how it goes. I was nervous at first and would not let me in.
We have to get in there before Jason because they close early.
What was that? That looked funny. What the hell was that? Hey, brother. Hope you all have a great time at the Arnold. 4 days in and seeing results. Matt, hell yeah, brother. And remember, keep that cardio. We want to keep that cardio out of the picture. That way we can assess exactly what the food's doing to you. And the weight will really start to come off. If the weight's coming off at all without the cardio, which is what it's supposed to do, then we know we're in the right position there with the thermogenesis. And then that's all diet-induced. And then you start to throw that cardio in there and add on top of that, then it's like lighting a fuse, man. Then it's really going to burn. Really going to burn. So I should go down to Columbus. It's less than 4 hours from here. You should come down to Columbus. It's going to be real, real fun. Nick, where are you guys going to be training at while in Columbus? Don't know. We have a couple options, and I will keep you updated, and I will take you guys into the gym with us. Maybe for some private training with some of our friends. What do you think about full body workouts? Jake, I don't know about full body workouts. I've never done it. When I first started lifting, I kind of tried it, but I was doing like a lot of old school, just weightlifting type exercises, then old weightlifter type exercises like Jefferson deadlift and all these. I don't even remember half of the things, but that's because I had an old Bob Hoffman brochure that came with the first weight set that I ever had, and it had I didn't know jack shit about lifting, so that's what I got my pointers from. So all the initial lifting and routines that I did and put together on my own, there was no internet or anything to guide me. And I wasn't aware what magazines were out there or anything else. I didn't know where else to look. So a lot of the old school Bob Hoffman stuff, that he proposed, that's the kind of stuff that I did. So I did a lot of not strongman, but regular old school weightlifting workouts. And they were more in line with similar to a full body workout than what I went on later to do. So initially, it was the shit. And to tell you the truth, whatever you do, you're going to benefit from. If you do full body workouts, if you just got to play around and find out what works for you, man. Different things work for everybody. And, different things are going to be ideal for different people. You can land on something and it might work great, but that's not to say there's not something else that's going to be more effective or more efficient. So there's a lot of things that factor in how much time you want to dedicate to it, but yeah, you can, anything is going to Jesus. If as opposed to, the alternative to doing nothing, and you're going to go into the gym maybe and do full body workouts a couple times a week or whatever you're doing, hell yeah, you're going to make hell of progress from that. Shit, yeah, it's going to be good. And if you enjoy it, that's the main thing. You need to enjoy what you do. If you like doing it, if you enjoy it best that way, then that's the way you should do it. Simple as that. Are you taking new clients? And do you train women? Love your videos. Yes and yes, but kind of I'm trying to slow down on the diet stuff right now. But yeah, actually I'm doing a diet for a woman because the diet we put her husband on was working out so well, just like 14 days in, I think he's got in. So, and that's before we even start to roll the cardio on. That's just from the diet. So yes and yes, I do. You can go to the website, email me, give me an idea of your current condition and what your goals are, what your aspirations are, and then we can go from there. What else we got here? British bean. British bean. Well, that's very interesting. Are you going to take on any more clients for Diet Plan? Riverly. I had like a last call for it. I am, but I don't know if I'm going to right now. Is Kai Green going to be there and compete? Why do you think he does not compete much anymore and didn't do the Olympia last year? I'm not sure about that. If I see him, maybe I'll ask him. Not sure. I know there's a big demand for it, but the other thing is if he's a smart business guy, he can probably generate a lot of other peripheral sources of income from entering a show and the build up to it and promoting that he's going to do it and getting ready for it and from following him through his training because there's a market to see him compete and he does it rarely. So in those regards, that's a smart business model for him. And it's probably easier in the long run on his body and every other thing. And why go through the expense and put your body through it? Maybe he's got a number in mind. He wants to make X amount off of it, or he thinks it's going to take whatever it's going to take to be worth his while. Who knows? It's entirely subjective and up to him. But now, if he competed, shit, the show would be sold out. You know what I'm saying? The show would be sold out. And there's the powers that be know that, and the money that's behind everything knows that. So, that's a smart way to go. If you create a spot for yourself like he's done, there's so much demand for him guest posing and appearances that if he chooses to do a show and he wants to put it out there, he's going to get paid. And that's what it should be about, Without the guys that are going to do it and compete, there's no show. So they need to be taken care of. They need to make money. Does it take a lot to stay at your weight and that lean right now? Nah, not really. The only thing it takes is keep me from eating more. You know what I'm saying? But like I told you, what I do with my TRT and all that shit, I don't have any aspirations to do any more. So, I'm only going to be able to get so big like that. I don't know how big. I probably can get a little bit bigger because there's a lot of things that where I don't dot all the I's and cross all the T's. I could actually tighten it down and really be more dedicated. But, you got to have your quality of life. Anything, that's first and foremost. You have to be happy with what you're doing. You have to enjoy what you're doing. You got to get enjoyment out of it. My thing is I've been so much larger than this, like so much larger than this. Look at the little picture in that icon on the page, the little picture, I'm almost like 3 or 7 there. So it makes it easy for me to stay at this size, that I've had to drop a lot of muscle and all because to be more realistic with what I put in my body today, what I'm willing to put in my body. So at this rate, that's, when you think of it that way, that I've already been that far, it's not very difficult for me to be this size, Could you do 150 push-ups at your size? I don't know. Why would I want to? The reason I say that is because I'm sure I probably couldn't right now, but I don't know how many I could do. But, I'm not really curious enough to find out because it'd be, precarious to my shoulders. So there's no real reason for me to. Now, if there was some kind of a source of income or something really that interested me or some kind of activity I really just had to engage in, then I would tailor my body for that activity. I would, whatever, I would lighten up or get smaller, reduce my size, whatever it took. I don't know, but go ahead and use whatever you want to use. Let's see. I don't think they don't charge you for internet. What do we got here? I'm 5'11", 159 pounds, really trying to get big here, man. I told you how to do it. I already gave you the keys to the kingdom. I already gave you the keys to the kingdom, Matt. Look at the videos. You want to do the opposite of dietary thermogenesis. However, you need to watch the video, and those are the food selections you make. You want to do just the opposite, as the person would do to induce dietary thermogenesis. You want to do the opposite of that. You want to choose foods that are very easy to digest. They cost almost nothing calorically for you to digest and assimilate. See, those are the things people don't consider. Just like when people stop and think about, well, that everybody knows at this body weight you need X amount of protein per pound. Really? Well, what kind of protein are you talking here? And are you taking probiotics, or are you not taking probiotics with your meals? Or what are you doing? Digestive enzymes on board? What are your sources of protein? Is it something that's readily made more quickly and more proportionally? More of the protein is going to get into the bloodstream at the cellular level? Or are you taking something that has a higher waste ratio where you're going to lose most of that protein by the time it gets into the bloodstream? How assimilable is the protein, right? Say your marker is 150 grams of protein a day, let's just say, somebody. Well, is 150 grams 150 grams? If it's primarily from like really simple, easy to digest proteins that cost almost nothing, you're going to get a larger percentage of that 150 grams is going to make it into the body. Now, if you pick something, and it's easy to identify what these are when you think in those terms. If you look on a protein efficiency ratio, something easily digestible like an egg, is up there high. As assimilation-wise, more of it's going to be assimilated because you're going to burn very little of it, in the digestive process. Now, if you're trying to go, it's not very wasteful. But if you go with something like a steak, but you make it up because you're getting lots more protein, but you're going to lose a lot more of that protein chewing it up and eating it, metabolizing it. So 150 grams, depending on where it comes from, may not be 150 grams every time, So you got to think of all these little details to consider when you're doing anything. Your thoughts on doing 21s? Just started them on arms. You know what? They work for a lot of people. Almost instant results. By the way, Kai's doing the streaming broadcast with Flex Wheeler. Yeah, I know. That should be pretty good because you got two bodybuilders that are very knowledgeable, very experienced, and that's really cool. It used to be really frustrating when you would have, one bodybuilder, but then you would have a guy, doing the announcing, like when you watch the pay-per-views and stuff, and you might have another guy. He doesn't really know anything about bodybuilding. He's just an announcer. That was really, kind of painful because the one guy would make remarks that were just like nuts. The other bad thing is, once in a while you get a show where they have a cameraman. I'm not saying any show in particular, but I've seen shows where whoever the camera people were, they didn't have it orchestrated with the guy's posing routine or, with the way he's facing, right? They'd be taking shots from the side and shit when he was doing like a double back bicep, and that's not pretty from the side. It's not pretty. All right, so you'd be missing the whole thing. You don't have the judge's perspective, so I don't know what kind. So sign in approved, and that bumped me off. All right, I'm back. So yeah, 21's been around forever. Lots of people built big arms doing it. Shit, I try anything. I switch on and off. You know what I mean? Did you just sign in? Yes, I just did. Why do you keep asking me if I just signed in? Let's see what we got here. La 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 la.
I need to get the
Great videos. I can relate. I'm a mechanic. Working crazy hours, me too. Having family and lifting too. It's hard. What you use during the day as far as stimulants? Not really anything. I've even cut back on my coffee, believe it or not, and I'm getting through. And I love coffee, but I don't have any problem with coffee. I like coffee for lots of reasons, and not the least of which is because I'm old. So I got no problem drinking coffee. Now, what's awesome is I got Starbucks in here. Watch it. Check this shit out. Look here. Huh? Yeah, I gotta be careful. This phone, I'll turn it off because I don't know what I'm doing. It's like in a gorilla's paw. Look at that. Oh, yeah. See? The little one you get in your room. We got room service here, too. But, the little one you get in your room, it's got daggone Starbucks. Starbucks. Yeah, I like that. Oh, those tacos were good, too, by the way. Those tuna tacos were awesome. New York City, yeah. Yeah. So Matt, you gotta eat, bro. You gotta eat multiple times. You gotta eat. Swole is the goal. Size is the prize. That's the mentality. That's the mentality it takes. La 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 la.
Room B130.
Oh, Chris, pleased to meet you, brother. Mike, hi.
The Ohio Expo Center, Fairgrounds. Alright.
Let's see. Low volume better than high volume. I don't know. It depends on which one works for you. I'm going to tell you the honest truth is that it's irrelevant. If you're natural, you're not natural. Naturally, I made it to 242, 241, and everybody already said I was on anyway, so what the hell was the difference? Nobody believed me then, and this was years ago, many years ago. So I think it's an individual thing, man. It has everything to do, I'll tell you guys, about the receptor placement and everything. Let's consider this. Let's say you got a guy that's a natural, but he has naturally, let's just say he has average testosterone production. He's natural, but he's got a shitload of receptors. He's blessed with receptors, an overabundance of receptors genetically. Then he's going to make use of most of that testosterone he's got in his body, a large percentage of it. Now compare him to a guy who has shit for receptors,
We need to go.
but he's jacked. We need to go where?
We have until 8 o'clock.
We have until 8 o'clock.
Get our stuff
Okay.
together.
And compare that guy to a guy he's got shit for receptors, and he's jacked. He's on. Which guy's gonna be bigger? Come on, man. If you're gonna tell me you haven't seen guys that are on gear that aren't as big as some natural guys you've seen, then you ain't been around a lot of guys, a lot of bodybuilders. Because some guys, man, they don't get it through their head. You can't overcome that. If you got the receptors, you're in like Flint. If you don't have the receptors, man, right now there ain't a whole lot you're gonna do about that. Now most people have enough receptors, but there are plenty of people that are natural that are going to get big enough that everybody, all the little busters are going to point and say, oh, this guy's not natural, there's no way. But really, when you see the difference is when you're standing side by side, three-dimensional, and can walk around the guy. It's hard to say from pictures and stuff, A lot of these guys that are being accused of being on something that aren't on anything, if you stand right next to them, you're going to see the difference. Put clothes on them, and you'll be able to see that they're a realistic size. They're just in very good condition, and they have good delineation and stuff, enough so that they look out of the ordinary, extraordinary, because they are. Most people don't put themselves through that, natural or not. So pretty much the same things can work either way. It's just less. It's just less. The guy that's on is probably, given all the rest of the things, pretty equal. They both have good receptors, et cetera, et cetera. The guy that's on, if that's all an advantage over the other guy, if it is an advantage, 100%, then he's going to be able to do more of everything. He can eat more because he's going to be able to assimilate more. It's just going to make everything work at a higher percentage. He's going to heal faster. He's going to recover, quickly. Everything, nervous system, everything. So he's going to be able to train harder. He's going to be able to train longer. But the rest of it can be the same. It's just you're going to do a little less is all. So you got to feel it out for yourself and see where you're at. Negative health effects from being as large as you are. No, bro, I'm not that large anymore. When I was really big, I'll tell you, when I was over 300 pounds, yeah, that was a uncomfortable place to be. But it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I was younger then. I wouldn't enjoy it today. That's why you see me as I am. I'm not trying to be the biggest guy in the graveyard next year. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this is, laid back size. Dudes that really know me, they even remember when I, thought I was going to be the next huge, superstar pro. And I thought that for about 5 minutes. And I had the size, there's no doubt about that, big as anybody. Not just big as anybody, Yeah. Of course, today there's some guys that are just beastly monstrous, huge. That didn't, I guess maybe I probably have a couple inches of height on them. So weight-wise, they probably, have a little, they would look significantly larger than me today, when I was big. But when I was big at the time, I was as big as anybody. But I'm not about that anymore, so believe me, if I was doing anything to bother my health, I wouldn't be doing it. So high volume or low volume for naturals, stimulate, not annihilate. Yeah, but I mean, you can have your own version of whatever you do, right? You can have your own version. You have fast twitch, slow twitch, right? So you just want to come up with something to address what you got and get what you need out of it. And that's all up to you. You know, if it works, it works. You know, don't take anybody's word for it. Feel your way around. If it isn't working, you're not happy with it, switch it up, try something else and see what it does. Yeah, I know about that scraping a barrel for money, brother. I've been there. Shit, when I first started, I ain't have any money for nothing. There were many. I gotta say, at least for a year solid or 2 years, probably, I was a gallon of milk a day guy, whole milk, because I was a little skinny guy, and I didn't have the money for a whole bunch of food, so I had to make do where I could do it. Eggs, cheap, lots of eggs. Had a buddy that worked at a grocery store. He got me really good deals on poultry, so I had a lot of poultry. I was eating daggone thighs and shit.
You can do this live stuff on my tablet. I need to charge.
Easy digesting carbs. Really easy digesting carbs. White rice as opposed to, people don't want to hear this, but reality is reality. Most of your processed shit is really easy digesting. I love your videos, brother, and how you keep it real. Your views on things are very insightful. George back. Incoming call.
Gotta go. Come on, man.
All right, guys. I'd like to keep talking to you. I'm going to be back in a little bit. I got to head over there. Maybe I'll let you see what it looks like over there at the expo when nobody's in there.
Yeah, my phone's dead. I gotta charge that phone.
It's not going to be dead. Anyway. All right, dudes. I'll catch you guys in a bit, man.
It might be.
Thanks for hanging out with me.